Hi guys, in today's video we're going to be talking about heaven and hell. At the moment I'm on my way to one of my favorite places on earth. It's on top of a big hill where I can see for miles. And I thought since we're talking about heaven, that would be a great place to do this video. On a side note, I used to come to this place when the trees were so small that I could see over them. And right now, these trees are probably several times as big as I am. Isn't that crazy how fast they grow? Anyways, see you at the top. Well, here we are at the top of the hill, and the view is gorgeous. I'll give you a minute to just enjoy that. And when you're up here, you can see for miles. And you can hear the wind in the trees and the birds. It's so peaceful and so beautiful. I just love coming up here. And my wife and I will come up here sometimes to enjoy the sunset. And it's just marvelous. And so I'm glad that I can share this with you. Have you ever experienced something so wonderful and so good that you feel like everything is perfect? In that moment, maybe you could push aside all of your problems and focus only on what was happening. Well, that's kind of how I feel when I come up to this beautiful place. I can just focus on how beautiful it is. And I can push aside my problems. I don't have to think about those things when I'm up here. Of course, at some point, I have to think about going home. And whenever I realize, oh shoot, I have to leave this place and go home to regular life, my heart hurts a little bit. And it hurts because I want to stay here longer. I want to stay in this beautiful scenery. I want to be able to explore. I don't want my experience to end. You know, in this world, many good things don't last. Good times can be replaced with sadness very fast. And sometimes, even though something is really good, it might be hard for us to enjoy because we're remembering sad things. When God created this world, He wanted humans to live together with Him. He wanted humans to be able to work, to play, to relax, and enjoy life with Him. But because of our sins and the consequences of sin, we've lost that way of living. We can't enjoy living the way that God created us to enjoy life. And because of sin, we face many hard things in life. And at some point, we're going to die. Those are the consequences of sin. And after we die, our bodies get buried, but our spirits will continue on. And we will be in either of two places. We will either be with God, or we will be separated from God. And the place where we can be with God is called heaven. And the place where God is not present is called hell. Hell's not a good place. And the Bible often describes it as a burning lake, and that's there for the devil and his demons, as well as the people who choose to walk away from God and ignore or hate Him. But the worst part about hell is that God is not there. Hell is the final separation from God. And because of our sin, we deserve to be separated from God in hell for all eternity. The good news, however, as our theme verse says, is that we don't have to spend eternity separated from God in hell. God made it possible for us to live with Him forever, the way that He meant for us to live when He first created our earth. So let's spend some time talking about heaven. Maybe you've heard some stories about heaven that make you think that it's going to be a place where people and angels are jumping around on clouds, singing church songs forever and ever and ever and ever. I remember when I was younger, I thought that in heaven, I'd be sitting in a church bench, singing church songs non-stop. I thought that would be very boring. And thinking about heaven, I wasn't really excited to go there forever. Maybe you thought the same thing. If everyone says heaven is so wonderful, shouldn't we be excited for it? The answer is yes, you should be excited for it. And I'm going to tell you now that heaven is not just a fluffy cloudland. When you look at the beautiful world around you, do you think that the God who created it would really create a heaven where everything is white and gold and boring? Do you think that the God who created us to be able to do all kinds of things would want us to just sing for all eternity? No. The Bible tells us that God is going to give us new bodies with which we're going to explore heaven. No one knows what heaven is going to look like. But if you think about this beautiful earth God created, then heaven is going to be way more fantastic. A man named C.S. Lewis, who wrote the Narnia series, writes that our earth is like a shadow of heaven. So think about all the best parts about living on earth. Good relationships with the people that we love, doing things that we love like playing, working, or exploring, beautiful lakes and forests. Now imagine being able to experience all that without any of the problems that are on earth. There'll be so much to explore in heaven, so don't ever believe for 1 second that you're going to be bored there. And the best part about heaven is that God is there. He's the giver of life. When we're with Him, we're going to be alive forever. And He loves us so much. And the reason that heaven is so wonderful is because God is there. And just as hell is horrible because God is not there, heaven is going to be so amazing because God is there. And we're allowed to be with Him. And although there's death and sin in this world, God has given us a gift. And God's gift for us is that we can live with Him forever in heaven. And the way that we can get this gift is through Jesus. And so we're going to talk about how we got this gift in the next video. I'm on my way home now. I've got to leave that beautiful place up on the ridge. I'm a little bit sad. But in heaven, our experiences like that are never going to end. We'll have joy forever. And we're going to be able to explore to our heart's content. I'm looking forward to that. Hear that bird?